My goodness. That's the final. 44-13. Can you dig that? What a bunch of garbage it turned out for the Saints today. They did not show up at all. They did not show up at all in this damn game. They didn't show up at all. They didn't even get off the plane. Crazy. All right, for the family members that's listening, y'all just hang tight right there. We'll have the press conference from Kellen Moore. We'll hear the janitor speak. All this kind of stuff. It's one of them games where we was just like, man, you can save the drama for your mama. We don't want to hear. And when you tell the Saints, like, man, listen, you can save the drama for your mama. We don't want to hear it. But unfortunately, we're gonna pipe them in so we can hear what they got to say after getting literally destroyed. I mean, literally destroyed by this Seattle team. What a disgusting display of football today, baby. This is horrible. This was horrible. This is so stank. All right. So anyway, fam, let's just get right on into it, man. Let's not waste anyone. Y'all, questions and comments, concerns, please throw it in the chat. All right. Hoffa says a new coach, same team. What's wrong, bro? Say thank you very much. It's just thank you, bro, for that. It's a lot going on here, man. Bro, you don't get beat up and hammered like this from start to finish. These people didn't get on the plane. This is 3 weeks in, and they didn't show up to play, and they knew it was at stake. You have to have a sense of urgency not to go down 0-3. You have to, like, man, we don't want to start the season 0-3. We have to get this win because we scrambled around and irresponsibly gave up plays that reason why we lost weeks 1 and 2. Now you turn around and you look at it and you say, oh shit, man, and then you have this type of performance in week 3. That don't make any sense to me. That don't make any sense. Now you damn sure gonna be 0-4 because Buffalo Bills is not gonna play with you. Buffalo is gonna hammer the Saints into the goddamn ground. Anyway, let's get right into it, man. And get into the team stats. We'll bring in Pops Q momentarily. And you're gonna make sure his sound is good back there. His television ain't on, so he can hear him good. All right, 21 of 22 for the first down. You see the Saints 21 first downs versus Seattle 22. You can see the ridiculous, the penalties, 5 penalties that created first downs for the Saints. Seattle benefited greatly from that. 5 of 15 on third down. The Seahawks were 3 of 9. Saints were 0 of 2 on fourth down as well. The Saints had way more plays than Seattle, 70-54. You can see the total yards, 320 versus 284 Seattle's way. The drives, 12-11 Saints way. Seattle's averaging 6 yards per play. That dropped a bit because they really laid off the foot off the pedal. Saints were 4.1 there, 233 versus 205 in terms of the passing. You can see there the rushing attack. Saints had 79 yards rushing on 27 attempts. It just wasn't the same. 87 yards rushing for Seattle with 33 attempts, less than 2.6 there. The red zone, Saints were awful, 1 and 3 in the red zone. Seattle was almost perfect. They were 4 for 5. Saints had another ghastly, ridiculous penalty field game. 11 penalties for 77 yards, 5 of which came in the first quarter alone. They also gave up a turnover, an interception there. They had a punt return for a touchdown, a block punt that set up a touchdown. And despite the fact that Seattle had 27-44 in time of possession, Saints had 32-16, did not make a difference. If you look at the box score, the individual numbers, Spencer Rattler finished the game 28 of 39 for 218 yards, 5.6 yards per throw, 1 touchdown, and an erroneous pick. He was sacked twice. His rating is still respectable at 83.1, so he did throw his first interception of the year. Tyler Shuck came out for a series, was 0 for 2, 39.6 on the rating. Alvin Kamara, 18 carries for 42 yards, didn't go anywhere. 2.3 yards per rush, that's ridiculous. Kendre Miller had 7 carries for 27 yards on 4 yards a carry average. Spencer, 2 scrambles for 10 yards, averaged 5. Chris Olave was thrown to 14 times. He caught 10 passes for 57 yards. That is not going to cut it. 10 catches, only stat packs. His stat prattling, stat packing. That ain't helping us here. They have 10 receptions for 57 yards. Jawan Johnson had 6 for 51. Rashid had 4 for 42. Brandon Cooks had 3 for 21. Jake Stahl had 2 for 22 catches for 21 yards, and he had the only touchdown of the day. Once again, Alvin Kamara was not used as a receiver. He had 1 catch off for 2 targets for 14 yards. What's up with that? Alvin Kamara needs to be featured more in the Saints offense. They're not giving him, throwing the ball to him enough, or not getting him situated in that way. Pete Werner recovered a fumble toward the end of the game in garbage time. He was also the team's top tackler with 13 of them. DeMario was 11. Nate Shepard had 5. Justin Reed had 4. Cam had 4. And nothing else happened. No sacks by the Saints today. No sacks by the Saints today. No interceptions by the Saints today. They did retrieve a fumble that was caused by Quincy Riley toward the garbage time minutes of the game. But to be honest with you, most of the game was garbage time. New Orleans kick return. Kendra Miller had 8 of them for 182 yards. He averaged 23 yards per return. Rashid 1 time for 40. Blake Grupe missed another field goal today. He was 2 of 3 for 60, almost 67%. Kai Kroger, 5 punts for 243 yards, had a 48.6 average. None of the 5 was inside the 20 because most of the time he was punting from deep in his own territory. So that's how it ended for the Saints as far as that concern. On the Seattle side of things, Sam Darnold put up almost a Mac Jones type of performance. He was 4 of 18 for 218. He averaged 12 yards every time he threw the ball with 2 touchdowns and a ridiculous rating of 154.2. Right? Drew Lock came in 2 for 3 for 15 yards with a rating of 78.5. Kenny Walker finished the game 16 carries for 38 yards. Joe Trelawney 10 for 27. Altogether, a combined effort 87 yards from the running attack. Jackson Smith-Njigba really cut up the Saints secondary. He had 5 catches off of 6 targets for 96 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 19 yards or 19.2 yards per catch with 5 catches. He was blazing the Saints' trash secondary. Torrey Horton, the speedster, 3 catches for 32 yards, 11 yards a catch. He also had a score. Cooper Kupp had 2 for 31, averaged 15 and a half. A.J. Barner had 1 for 23. So, I mean, they had whatever you was throwing it at. Notice these ridiculous totals where these guys are averaging over 10 yards every time you throw them the ball. That's ridiculous. And their top guy was Josh Joby, who was the defensive back. He had 11 total tackles for them and half a sack. Okada and Leonard Williams shared the sack. Brian Murphy, the second, also had a sack on the team, and that was later on in the game. Saints go down in blazes. 44-13. Very ugly, trash, pathetic, weak. Did I say trash? Situation for the Saints, man. And we're going to bring in Pops to the broadcast and get his points on it. Pops, welcome on in, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, son. Just got off watching that poor performance in Seattle by our team. We still have the stupid penalties. We get a drive going, and then all of a sudden somebody will jump offside, or somebody will move, or somebody will do these offensive linemen, and it was like rotation. I don't understand what is our coaching staff doing. Another thing I noticed, they don't throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that. And so teams are starting to play up. They put more men in the box because they know the Saints are not going to throw the ball downfield. And on that one play where Kamara was wide open, the quarterback missed him. He was wide open. If he'd have caught that ball, he probably would have scored. But he missed him. He overthrew. You know, we keep on shooting ourselves in the foot, and we have to correct that situation with the penalties. We initially started on a good drive. And all of a sudden, 5 yards, holding 10 yards, and now we're in the hole. We backed up. We're under the gun. And Rattler is a young quarterback, and he did the best he could. I'm not putting this on him. I'm putting this on the offensive coordinator And also these offensive line coaches can't get these dummies to hold their water. That's how they used to say, hold your water until you can get the snap count. And I realize Seattle is a rough place to play football in because the way that stadium is made, the crowd can close kind of like they close in on you, and then you can hardly hear your snap. But I mean, they got a silent count. Why they haven't considered using a silent count, son? I don't understand it. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either, pops. I don't know what happened today. My only explanation is that that Saints didn't show up for this game. They did not show up for this game. They did not get on the plane, and whatever team got off the plane is not the same team that was supposed to be there. They were literally destroyed in the first quarter. The game was over with in the first quarter. And listen, pops, they had no fight in them to even show anything in the second quarter or the third quarter. They laid down and quit. When they came out of the halftime period, there was no urgency. They weren't trying to win anything. So I don't. This team simply did not show up to play today. That's what I seen. They didn't show up to play. They didn't. All three phases of the team were awful, especially the special teams. There was nothing special about what we seen. They allowed the kick return. They allowed them to flip the field, to set up a score. They allowed a block punt to occur that also, I think, led to a score. The special teams were awful today. And you know what the really crazy part about it is, pops? A lot of the diehards gonna tell them, don't you ever put that goddamn uniform on no more. The first time they put these white helmets on with the white jerseys and the white pants, they got mollywopped. Usually when they do that, they don't want to see that combination for a while. So I mean, this was awful, man. They played terribly. They were so bad, pops. They should not get paid for this game.
I agree with you.
It was
I
terrible.
think I agree with you, son. I do. I'll be honest with you. They really look bad. They didn't. You're right. They weren't prepared to play. I mean, the special teams coverage was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they were getting laid down like sardines after when that guy come out there flying up there the first time. He took it all the way to the house. Nobody was back there to stop him. They just weren't prepared. I don't know if it was the high air up there in Seattle. No, sometimes you have to come up to a place like that. In Denver, those are two places, to kind of get acclimated. But I don't think he ever got acclimated.
Nah, pops. None of this looked right. All of this was off. All of this was drastic off. For a team to beat you, and then the crazy part, they gave the Saints charity here. They could have 50 burgered the Saints. Clint Kubiak pulled up off the pedal. He took his foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
And they started running. They could have really plastered and destroyed the Saints and 50 burgered their asses today. But they pull up off the pedal. And despite that, the Saints just was a disaster. So, pops, before they get to their spiel, kind of talk about the three different phases in terms of it's a lot to grab at. And a lot of the great Saint think tank is putting on there, but I don't know where to go. I'm just going to say the whole effort. This was a trash, stinking, rotten 9-team effort by all phases. Why was there no sense of urgency? Knowing that you're coming into week 3, you're 0-2 with the potential to go 0-3. You have to win this game to avoid an 0-3 hole, and the Saints get in there with no sense of urgency. Talk about that, Pops. What's going on here from your perspective? What's going on here?
Yeah, like I said, I think that they weren't prepared. The offensive line continues to be a problem for this team. I mean, we had a good drive initially, had a good drive going. We started off the first drive they got. And all of a sudden, we start having these ridiculous penalties, as they did the last 2 games. And they fell behind, and they don't have the ability to catch up because they don't throw the ball downfield. They're not running the ball well. Basically, our offensive line sucks, and it's hurting the team. The penalties are killing us. It doesn't make any sense what it is, right? The special teams was absolutely a disaster today. For Seattle to come blazing through there, and they had another big punt return after they had that touchdown run too later on in the game, where they got all the way down to about the 30-yard line of the Saints, and we finally got the guy out of bounds. So I don't know what they need to do, but I think they got some serious work. Kellen got some serious work to do right now to get this team back together. Because I mean, you're going up against a dragster coming up here, and I think you're playing at their place. Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills, is that right?
That's right. They got to go to Buffalo.
Oh, that's not going to be well. You know the way Buffalo throws the ball down the field, they got big, strong runners. It's going to be a long game if they don't get the act together and start getting these guys' heads into these games. Their heads are not in there. Every time you jump in, you're not listening to what the snap count is. You don't understand. In the huddle, you're supposed to hear the snap count. If you don't understand what the snap count is, ask the quarterback before you break the huddle. Ask him. Say, hey, I didn't hear it. What's the snap count? It's not difficult to do, but it constantly happens to this team for the last 3 games, and it's costing us an opportunity to win. I mean, we're dealing with a young quarterback, so we got to be patient with him. I'm not faulting this game on him. It wasn't him. He threw a garbage interception later on the other kid. I don't know if he did it, the other kid did it, but he threw a garbage interception. But the game was done. Like you said, the game was done by halftime. You can't dig out of a hole like that. See what I'm saying? You get yourself too far. You get yourself down 21 points. It's hard to even get anything going because the defense is going to come and cream you behind. They're going to get your quarterback. They're going to load the box, load up in front, load the box up, so you won't be able to run on them. And that's what Seattle did. Seattle took advantage of all that. Didn't get the chance. The Saints didn't get the chance to do the thing they wanted to because they weren't prepared.
Yeah, this is that's interesting, Pops. But the next question is, and a lot of the Who Dats want to know, it's like, okay, the Saints are a mess because they're disorganized. It's just ugly. But the thing is Kellen Moore disciplined enough to right the ship? Because I hear all this stuff about Kellen Moore being the players love Kellen Moore. He's this, he's that, but they're not loving him enough to play hard and smarter for him. So is Kellen Moore, does he have the discipline, the temperament needed to shape this team to get them on a straight and narrow? A lot of people have already resolved themselves to saying, Q, this is a throwaway year and all this kind of stuff. But I just don't think think so, because we have enough talent to win and at least be very competitive. But the first 2 games was low IQ play. They did not taking advantage. The next game here, the third game is an utter blowout to a team, and the Seattle team destroyed the Saints. They outright humiliated them. And yes, Kellen Moore is going to come up here with this coach speak and this cleanup stuff and all this janitor speak, as I call it. But I just find it hilarious. Do you think that Kellen Moore has that temperament, Pops? Do you think he can turn this stuff around?
He's got to get mean. One thing, he's got to get mean. He's got to get firm with these guys, and you got to call them all together and say, look, guys, we paid, we well paid. Supposedly we got good players here. You got to use football is a game that's between your ears when you're on that field. Executing the plays, what's in your head? Do you understand the play? Do you understand your position on the field, what you need to do on the line? And then when we call the cadence, you've got to hold your water until you understand when your cadence is, and then you make your move. These ridiculous, and it started early. We were moving on Seattle. See, Seattle's not certainly the type of team we saw today. The Saints just let us down by their play, by their performance. And Kellen should be shamed, and he's going to have to get on those guys. You can't be Mr. Nice Guy when you are coaching in an NFL team. You can't be Mr. Nice Guy, because guess what? They're not going to respect you. And there's Kellen.
There he is, Pops. Let's see what he got to say. Let's hear from the janitor talk from Kellen Moore. Here we go. L for one.
Didn't do enough. We didn't do enough to give ourselves a chance. We got to be prepared more. Starts with me. We got to give ourselves an opportunity to compete in these games. And so, too many penalties, too many missed opportunities, big special teams plays early in this game that put us behind it. And I appreciate our guys' battle through the second half. They didn't quit. I do appreciate that. But this is going to be a very powerful lesson for our guys on adversity and how we respond. And, simply we can't start the football game like that with the sequence that we had and put ourselves in a really poor situation. So.
Why do you think this team looks so unprepared?
It starts with me. Obviously, we didn't do good enough. We missed a fourth down opportunity there. Penalty when we got them stopped to kick a field goal. We got a really 100% controlled penalty, dumb penalty on our part, and then they had three big special teams plays in a row. And so we got to do a better job of putting ourselves in better situations.
What's sort of your message to the team after a loss like this? You talked about adversity, but how do you kind of keep them?
Yeah. I think that's what it's about. It's a test of adversity. It's how you respond. You have to narrow your focus, look at the items that are good, and certainly recognize those. But again, we did not do enough to start the game to put ourselves in a really good position to be competitive there. And so, there's no one's going to feel bad for you. No one's going to come save you or anything. We got to put in a bunch of work, and we got to get better right now, and put ourselves in a better position moving forward.
How would you describe this team's discipline right now?
Yeah, we're not clean enough. We're not clean enough. Too many penalties again, and too many of them that are under our control. There's judgment penalties in every single game, but the ones that we can control, we can't have that. We got to do a better job.
You mentioned those three special teams plays in a row. Like, what did you see that was going wrong against on special teams?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think obviously they took advantage of a couple opportunities. They had a really good design on kick return, the punt block. We got to be better there. The punt return, again, they made a play, and so we got to do a better job there certainly. And that'll be something for us to certainly spend a lot of time this week getting better.
Is it a punt return touchdown just a matter of kind of out-kicking the coverage on that, or?
It's a great question. I'll have to look at it more closely, but certainly, you can kick it deep, but we still got an opportunity to get that one down and get ourselves back in position.
In your history, when penalties like that and slow starts like that have become a consistent theme, how can coaching overcome that, or where can you pinpoint that?
Yeah, we got to do a great job of studying this. We got, there's no throw this film away and just move on. This is 100%. We have to evaluate every little item that happened today and get better from it. Again, we did not put ourselves in a good enough position to start the game. It starts with me, and we got to find the solution.
Obviously, nitpicking with the scoreboard the way it was, but how come the decisions to go for the field goal in the first half still and both the times?
Yeah, just taking points at that point. We just got to get some momentum going our way, and so obviously we knew it was an uphill battle from at that point, and we're going to have to be really perfect to have any chance moving forward. And so yeah.
So the one before halftime in particular, when you're on the 5-yard line,
yeah.
Because you felt like a field goal could help you.
Yeah, I felt like we just need to earn some points out of that drive. And we got some points, and we'll see if we can stop them and get ourselves at least in a position where you got to play the game perfect to have a chance. But we just need to get something going.
Along that note, I know we've asked you about Blake Grupe before. Are you concerned about him? I know that was a long field goal.
Yeah, it was a longer one. Obviously, we got to find a way. We just got to keep getting better, and that's all we can do.
It's heat of the moment, of course, coming right out of the game. But how do you go about establishing sort of the accountability when it comes to repeated issues like penalties and things like that?
Yeah, I think it's something we have to spend a lot of time acknowledge, talk through, and obviously understand. If someone can't play that way, then obviously we got to find the guys who can. But I have all the confidence in the world. These guys will respond the right way. This is going to be a really, really valuable lesson for us today. This is going to be a really valuable lesson. Our guys are going to learn from this. It doesn't feel good at all, but again, no one's going to come help you. We got to dig in together and find the solutions.
And how do you go about
road that you're going to navigate that gets you to become a better player and put yourself in a better position next week.
Does anything strike you about maybe what you need to do differently going forward in terms of the preparation for everything?
Yeah, obviously it's something we'll have to study. Obviously we're not, we did not play up to our standards today at all, and that's on me. So I got to find what parts that we can improve on, get better at, and we'll find it. Yeah, obviously it's something we'll have to study. Obviously we're not, we did not play up to our standards today at all. And I think our guys are battling the right way. I don't take that for granted. I think our guys are competing each and every play. Certainly that second half, our guys are still going for it, which I certainly appreciate. We got to knock down the hard situations, and then there's competitive situations. Again, we always talk about there's big plays that change games, and they can happen in any of the 4 quarters. And so, whether it's the beginning of the game, towards the end, we just got to find a way to be more consistent.
I know it's easier said than done to, suggest getting the ball downfield more, but, these 10, 12, 14 play drives when things are going well, is that by design and how you want to play these games, or are you not getting the opportunities you're looking for?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's really hard when you put yourself behind like that. They can sit there and play on top of everything. They're up by 28 plus points or whatever it is, and so they're going to make you earn it. They're going to make you go the long way. We do have to find a way to get downfield more often. That's certainly the goal and the aspiration, but we got to put ourselves in positions to actually be able to accomplish that.
What are your thoughts on Spence today?
Yeah, I thought Spence played fine. I thought he gave us some opportunities. He did some good things. We just got in too many obvious pass situations, and we weren't able to get the explosive plays. And I got to find a way to put him and help him be in better positions.
Despite the loss, what does it mean to you coming back to your home state, being the head coach of the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, obviously, I think a lot of us, we all have different experiences in this NFL. We all have hometowns in different spots, and so obviously, I appreciate my time here. I do love this place, but it's far from my thoughts right now, to be honest.
Both times you guys have tried to tush push this year, you guys have been penalized. Is that overstating things to make a direct correlation between how much you practice it versus how it looks?
Yeah. Right now we're 0 for 2, and we've invested a lot of time in it, and we're 0 for 2, and so obviously we got to get better there.
Quincy Riley seemed like he entered the game even before a lot of backups started entering the game. Was that something you came into this game?
Yeah, he played a little bit more. Yeah, we kind of anticipated that being the formula. Play him a little bit more, just get him a little bit more in the rotation, and we'll just kind of see how all that progresses.
Kool-Aid was healthy at that time?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Just for the sake of avoiding any assumptions, the decision to go to Tyler Shutt, can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, I just want to get as many of those young guys in and give them a couple snaps in the game at that point. Obviously, we're going to win the football game, try and get Tyler a few reps, in a situation,
With this kind of start to the season, is it too early to start considering personnel changes? Do you look at that already?
No, our job's to get better right now and just get better and put ourselves in a really good position to be successful. And so we're not there yet. We're 0 for 3 so far. Doesn't feel good for anyone, but we got opportunities ahead of ourselves, and we got a group of guys that need to look forward, and they will look forward and get better this week and go for it next week.
Do you think that challenging environment here played a factor in your first growth here?
Obviously we had a couple penalties on the offensive line with the pre-snap. Those again under our control. We got to do a better job there. But again, we got behind it. We got behind in a tough environment too early, and that's a challenging formula in this league.
Was Stronger like an emergency option today?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he's just getting back into it, and so he had a great week, and so we'll see how it progresses this week again.
You said a couple of times here today that this whole thing starts with you.
Yeah.
And so what's kind of like the first thing that comes to mind for you that stands out as like, I want to do that better, or I want to improve this, or whatever that might be for you?
Yeah, obviously we got to be prepared and put ourselves in the best position to be successful. We got to eliminate all the silly things. We need our guys to just play fast, free, and confident, and we got to get there. And again, we got to find the formula. We got to look into this film really, really closely, and hold each other accountable. It starts with me again, and we'll find a solution. Good. Thanks.
All right, Pops, what are your thoughts on what Kellen Moore said? Anything that you heard from Kellen Moore that appeased your Your mindset on the direction of the Saints. What do you thought the
Well,
thoughts on him?
I'll be honest with you. You know, I still there's a problem somewhere. These guys are making the same dumb mistakes every week, and no one is getting them corrected. They keep doing the same thing, the same mistakes. They get a good drive going, and all of a sudden, boom, you got a penalty. You got a motion. You got offsides. You got all kind of silly stuff that these guys doing. And it's really ridiculous the way they do it. We have to fight that. You got to change the whole map.
Here goes Spencer.
I mean, you blink and the scores like that. It's tough to dig out of that hole. Second half we fought, but again, self-inflicted wounds on all sides of the ball early on, and can't do that with an offense like that. They're explosive. They had a lot of explosive plays, especially on special teams as well. So, tough to get in that hole and dig out of it.
What do you think contributed to all the penalties that we saw today from your guys' offense?
We just had to be more dialed in. I mean, we knew it was going to be loud. It was a loud environment, tough environment. But I mean, we had those opportunities, we had the looks, and we just shot ourselves in the foot with pre-snap penalties and then a couple post-snap penalties as well. So we're gonna have to harp on that all week again because we got another tough road game. So we have to clean that up, or it's gonna be tough to win games if we can't clean that up.
What do you make of just kind of lack of explosives so far through 3 weeks? Kellen was talking today, like when you're getting a big hole like that, it makes it a little bit tougher because they sit off a little bit of time. But
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, when you get in a hole like that, they know the game plan after that. We're going to have to be aggressive. I tried to throw a few shots down the field when we were down 3 scores and try to make something happen. Didn't connect on those, but, we tried to dial some stuff up, and obviously they're going to play a little softer knowing we're down 3-4 scores. So don't want to be in that spot to begin with. We had a good shot dialed up for the perfect look, and I think we had a pre-snap penalty on that one as well early in the game. So it's the details. That's all it is.
Victor, what's the team's morale like? How do you feel like you and your teammates are handling that 0-3 start?
It's not fun, but like the guys say, the vets say, you can't ride the roller coaster of emotions. Like, we have to have a neutral thought. It's a long season. You see what's happening. We just got to be better. Like, we have to be better on all sides of the ball. Had to be urgent about it, and we just have to do it.
Is there any consistent thread with the 2 false starts and the 2 tries and then a tush push?
Say it one more time.
Like, you guys have tried to tush push twice this year, and both times had a false start. Is there something similar happen on both plays, or is it just like a knee up play?
I mean, we just have to be more dialed in on that play. We know what we're trying to do. The defense knows what we're trying to do. We got to out-execute them and not get a false start on that,
On the 4th and 4, it looked like you were trying to maybe direct traffic downfield. What were you trying to do in that?
I mean, you got to make a play. We have to work on scramble drills. We got to work on that throughout the week, and I'm going to harp on that as well. But 4th down, end of the game, got to make a play. We just all got to be on the same page.
Was this team ready to play today? I mean, it just seemed like from the beginning, you all were behind the 8 ball in almost every phase.
Yeah, I mean, you feel good coming into a game. I mean, we felt great coming into this game. We had a great week, but you got to go out there and do it. And obviously we knew it was going to be a tough environment. They started really fast. We had really bad self-inflicted wounds on all 3 phases, and you do that in this league with a good offense like that, and it's going to be tough to come back from. So I think that was the name of the game today, and we just got to clean up.
Is there any crisis of confidence right now in the locker room at all?
I wouldn't say so. No, I mean, we know what we got to get better at, and we had to do it with urgency. It's a long year. We have to get better now, because it's not going to get any easier, and we just got to put better stuff on tape and go out there and play the ball we know we can play. All right. Thank you.
All right, Pop Spencer Rattler, man. Talking QB talk, accountability with Spence. Thoughts on what Spence said, bro? What'd you think about that, Pop?
He he's a young quarterback, and I think he did a fairly good. He threw an interception, but it was in garbage time. I think the due to the fact that the defenses are playing up on the Saints offense, they don't get to go downfield. And I fail to understand why Kellen don't address that. But these guys got to be able to get open to avoid all this. And the biggest problem, and I see the disappointment. You can see it in his face when the game was going on. A guy get called for an offense, for a penalty, and they struggling to just trying to get a first down. And then what happens? A penalty. 5 yards back. You get a first and 10, then now you're at first and 15.
How do you feel after a game like that? What's the vibe like in the locker room?
I feel terrible after any loss. A game like that, you look up 6 minutes in, you're already down 21. You get chin checked. You could say, yeah, we responded in the second half. Sure, we put up points. Yeah, the defense had a couple 3-and-outs, but that's just it. We barely even got the third down. Sometimes it's those self-inflicted wounds. On offense that impeded drives, and on defense that gave up some plays that you automatically want to get to the field as fast as you can.
Did you feel that there were some moments that were close to getting sort of a fast start on the defensive side, a near sack and then a third down penalty? Did you feel like that was particularly detrimental, or was it?
Yeah, combination. You figure, Brian Brzee almost had a sack right there. That would have been great. But we got to find a way to get off third down. They complete, and then after that, there's some erroneous penalty that gets them closer to the goal line. You got to, at this point, how many penalties did we have in the first quarter? I'm gonna say 7, 8. It's self-inflicted wounds, man. Like we're not a good enough team to overcome those right now. And at the point of time, it clearly shows every game. These penalties have hurt us. We got to figure out a way to clean those up. And at the same time, there's still positives. I mean, you saw young Quincy Q get in the game, force a fumble. I think Pete Warner played his butt off. He was sideline to sideline. Seemed like he was on almost every tackle. There's some positives that I can just recall during the game. But at the same time, when you look up and it's 40-something to 13, what does it matter? We got to figure out how to win.
What would you say was sort of the through line for, you mentioned the penalties and the self-inflicted wounds, what would you say is kind of the through line for the penalties that you've seen so far this season, not just in this game?
Yeah, I'll say that clearly it's been a tale of all 3 games. You start doing something positive on offense, penalty. You start doing something positive on defense, penalty. That gives energy away instead of creates energy for. We got to start creating our energy for our team and stop creating something just to give it right back. And I mean, these are things that we can control, right? You got to be, at this point, teams look at us as we're undisciplined, because if you're in top 3 most penalized teams, that's just the moniker they give you. We have to be able to be better from that point.
And I mean, the penalties, especially on like third downs after you get
frustrating.
I mean, it's like
frustrating.
I think you had 2 of them last week too. And is that something that y'all
focus on? Absolutely. Nobody be like, oh, we only had 8 penalties this game, we're good. No, absolutely not. This is something that we're definitely focused on. Kellen has done a great job of throwing it up on the board and addressing, hey, these are things that we have to be not only aware of, but conscious of, but have to correct. At the end of the day, it's got to be on the entire team to get this far behind us as fast as possible. I think, but how to try this name out loud. Torricelli Simpkins came in and, inserted himself as a rookie, and I think he did okay. I'd like to say he did great, but 1344, nobody did great. Just the name of the game is you have to find a way to get better.
Have a game like this, Cam. I mean, Coach said this would be a film that you don't just throw away, that you all need to look at.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can't wait to get on the plane and break down this film. This is something that has to be immediately broken down because there's clearly something glaring that we were missed.
And Darnold was only pressured for 5 inches of dropbacks today. Like, what would you attribute?
How many dropbacks did he actually have? By the time he did a drop back, what was the score? I mean, if all he's worried about is quick releases, we're trying to get back in the game somehow, some way. I wish we could say, hey, we knew he was going to have a quick release. We planned on that, and at the same time, He had a couple with the first series. We gifted to their offense. Second series was a bomb. Like this is something we have to overcome ASAP.
You mentioned starting to break down the film on the play and everything like that. Obviously, you're paying attention to sort of the individual things about improvement. But what's kind of your role in helping the entire defense?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's got to be on us, right? It's got to be on guys who have seen this before. I mean, we've definitely been able to correct penalties before, and I assume it's going to be on the leaders of the team to have this talk and get it done now. But Monday we got to be able to say this is where we're at, and then if we keep going this way, this is where we're going to finish up. The reality is, so at this point, we're already at a juncture where we have to be as critical as we can be right now.
She mentioned that it even needs to be better at practice when it comes to like discipline and things of that nature. Is this something that you noticed during the week potentially, where like it can hurt you in a game?
Yeah, I think there's a reason why our coaching staff brought in referees this entire week of practice, right? And at the same time, come game day, we still had how many penalties? So I'm sure that'll be readdressed. And it's got to be on the players to know where we're at, know the cadence, know how to whatever that is, the holding, whatever penalties that came up. 3 games in, you say, hey, we could have had a starting drive if. Ifs don't help you win in this league. Our defense could have had a 3-and-out if. If it's not going to help you win.
And when you come back for a 15th season and the team starts this way, 0-3, like how do you handle that frustration of,
Just like I did year 2, pissed off. There's beyond just the years being here, it's knowing that there's a right way to play football, there's a right way to hold people accountable, and you have to be able to match that standard.
Are you more pissed off, so to say, in year 15, just knowing, there's not that many years left to
of course.
Get to where you want to go?
Yeah, each down, but I mean each game I've always played like it's going to be my last. So my mentality has never been able to shift because that's how I've always played. If today ended and I had to walk away from football, where would I be? I'd know that I gave everything my all. So year 1 to year 15, same mentality. Each one of these hurts the most because it's the most glaring right now. We just got off the football field where I felt like had we been able to execute our game plan, we could have been in a better position. And at the same time, you look around and you say, hey, we were down however many points in the first 7 minutes. We have to be able to rely on our defense to get us back in the game. We didn't create a turnover to the second half. We have to be able to create turnovers. We have to, up until, let's just call it the halftime. How many runs did they actually have? What did they run for, 15 yards? We have to be able to control what we can control. If there's dropbacks there that we need to have more pressures on, leave it on D-line. We'll get better by next week. Go ahead, finish.
Just to clarify something that you were talking about earlier with officials in practice, were there officials in practice this week leading up to this game?
Indeed. At least in New Orleans. Yeah.
It was 8 yards. I was trying to look that up.
8, got it. No. That's not something to hold your head on when, again, the score is not reflective of. But it's something that you say, hey, this is what the standard should be.
This is something you address. You mentioned the plane ride home. I mean, will you all actually, as leaders of the team, maybe even...
Have you ever known Double D to be quiet? I don't know if you know who I am, so, yeah.
That urgency,
Of course. I mean, when you have a loss like this, and it's still early in the season, there's still 14 games left. There's enough time to say, hey, we understand that we've done some good things, shown some good things, but there's so much time right now to be like, hey, it may look like it, but this is imperative now. This is what we have to be able to turn towards. That starts with me talking to D-line, Double D talking to linebackers, Jay Reed talking to DBs. If we have to address everybody, great. It's all right. Our DBs and our linebackers and our D-line have been able to have open line of communication since training camp. If they got something to say, it's always open door. Cool?
All right, Pop, that was Cam, man.
Yes, he is. I could tell it in his voice because he plays his butt off. And he, and it's just the breakdowns. The secondary didn't show up. I mean, Tom Donald, what his name is, Tom Donald, is not a Super Bowl quarterback or not a great
Sam Darnold.
quarterback. He's a pretty decent quarterback, and he picked them apart.
Just like the other guy, though, Pops. The same thing with the other guy. The other guy is not a good quarterback either. What's his name? Mac Jones.
Yeah.
These are mediocre quarterbacks that seem to cook the Saints and their lackluster defense all the time. So it's just one of these ridiculous things that we notice from these folks, man. It's just an awful shame, to be quite honest with you, watching and hearing what they got to say and that they pissed. Man, you talking about you pissed, Cam. You pissed. You haven't seen nothing from the Who Dat. At least you getting paid to watch this trash. You ain't pissed. You ain't seen pissed. You ain't seen pissed people. I'm serious, man. These guys are unbelievable, man, with this stuff. But go ahead, Pops. What's your thoughts on what he said, man? And we heard Rattler. You were still breaking down your Rattler speak, but you can go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah, I could, because a lot of it is on the offense, and it goes over to the defense because they got to go. They work their butt off to try to get the other team's offense off the field, and then because they don't execute the plays properly, they get all kinds of penalties, and then they got to get up. They got to run back on it. 3 and outs. They had too many 3 and outs. You have to give your team time to rest. Your defense needs that time to rest. We need it. We need the time to rest. We didn't have it. A lot of times, Donald, whatever his name is, he could pick who he wanted to throw the ball to. There was no, I don't know what kind of zone defense that they were playing back then in the secondary, but guys were running wide open. I mean, come on. Where's the coverage? You see what I'm saying? Where was the coverage? I mean, they were wide open. These guys are wide open. And look at these fellas. They're trying to smile, but them fellas know they ain't too happy. They ain't too happy. Nobody's happy with that. I'm not happy with it. You're not happy with it. Cam is not happy with it. They got to get that fixed. That offensive line is killing them. You got to get your older players. You got older players like just like Cam, and you got to get those guys off the field so you can get some rest. You can't just 3 and out every time you get your 1st and 10, and all of a sudden a guy jumps offside, make a move, and then you get penalty. And we've been getting those penalties all the time. We get them all the time. The last 3 games, it's been penalties that have stopped drives. And it's going through the same thing. Now, like I said, Moore going to have to get tough. We have to get tough. He had to get tough. So he's got to set the tone of the team. You got to get on them guys and get in their butts. Hey, come here, man. Let me talk to you for a minute. Say, look at this film here. Well, you jumping offside, or you're making movements, and you're not setting your feet. You got to coach them, and you got to coach them, make sure they understand that you're not happy with their business. We're paying you big money for you to help the quarterback. Anytime you look around, you're moving, you're backing up 5 yards. Self-inflicted wounds, self-inflicted penalties that hurt this team today. And they lost faith. They wasn't prepared. And then a few penalties, they had a chance to do a little something in the first part of the game. And then after the penalty, set them back and they wasn't able to execute. Then next thing you know, now they just gave up, basically. Because guys were running too free in the secondary back there for touchdowns. They did a decent job with the run game. But then after they got tired and all, the run game started to work for Seattle. The passing game was working all day, hitting guys wide open. I mean, I could have played through a football like that and hit a guy wide open. No pressure on the quarterback at all. I don't know if they did they have. I don't think they even recorded the sack that I saw.
No, they didn't get to him. It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. No matter how you slice it. Hoffa, shout out to you. Says different hirings, but same results. Well, it's time to fire the man that's hiring him. Q. In your Luma's voice, give me your thoughts, Big Q. Mickey Q. Hoffa's asking for Mickey Q, pops. Oh, why not? Goddamn it. Oh, why, goddamn it. Oh, I know. Well, it's too early for all that. Why not, Hoffa? I appreciate the super chat, but goddamn it, why not? It's just week number 3 or one. We're gonna pull it together. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, I know you gotta slow down there, big guy. Just rock with us. We'll be all right. We just gotta have faith. Why not? Goddamn it, we'll be all right. We'll be okay. Yeah, that's selling the soap. That's what Mickey Loomis does, Pops, doesn't he? He sells the soap and give you nothing but spin. There with it. Thank you, Hoffa. Shout out to you. It's just, Pops, you look at this face, the looks, and I was showing the pictures of some of the Who Dats, the diehards that were in attendance in the Seattle game. And look at this brother's face right here, Pops. Look at this brother's face. This brother's face.
I see it.
He got the what you talking about Willis look on his face right here with the say. Let me see if I can get closer. So I can look at his brother's face, man.
Yeah, I see it. Go right there to the left, upper left of the lady.
That boy got the what you talking about Willis look on.
Yeah. And he wasted his money flying up there, man. You realize how much money it costs to get up there in the airplane. I'm going up here and watch the Saints. I'm going up there and watch the Saints play. I'm going to get it. Got everything all prepared. Then they go down there. They're not prepared.
Yeah, boy face. He busted that what you talking about Willis look on his face.
Yeah. Not happy, I promise you. Either one of them happy. The boy that's standing there, he's looking all funny. He ain't too happy either. You can't blame him. I mean, it costs money to get up there. You got how far Seattle, Washington is from here.
Yeah.
look at Jack Black. See, feel sorry for.
He got the Mike Tomlin on his face. The Mike Tomlin look on his face. A Mad Drummer said, I hope that brother, that wasn't brother that was stationed there taking his son to his first game. Yeah, I don't know, brother.
That's not good.
Yeah, but it was quite a few of them. They had another man that was more angry than this brother here. And you can see him right here. Look at his face.
Yeah, he mad.
Lord. Well, he gonna hurt. He gonna hurt Kellen Moore. He better not get close to Kellen Moore. He gonna hurt Kellen Moore. We got security.
Yeah.
Keep him away from this gentleman right here. He got a little fire marshal bill going on, a little bit of everything. He
probably had a little sauce in him, and you know how that works. He gets sauced up and fell in water, cut up water pipe.
All I know is Kellen better not smile at him. He might knock out all the front of his teeth.
Notice how Kellen got out there real quick. He didn't hang around.
Nah, he didn't hang around. This guy was standing at the door waiting for his ass.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Oh, man. But hey, man, listen, man, the Who Dats we catching it right now, man. We catching it.
Yeah.
It's a bad deal. This is a hammering. And the cold-blooded part about it, Pops, is that there's no ready-made answers for this because it was so horrible and tragic how this all played out. The Saints look absolutely awful and terrible.
They look like they were wore out, and they were just going through the motions. No fire, no. I mean, you got a weapon in Kamara. Using downfield, that would help to loosen your defense up for the run game. They don't ever throw to him. He's got the moves to shake loose. But you got to get him the ball down. You got to give him a chance to go downfield. If he'd got that ball to, like I said, that would have been a touchdown. I believe, because Kamara was behind the defensive player for Seattle. He was behind him. All they do, he overthrew. He went for him, but he overthrew the ball. But they need to go to him more. Put him out there, put him out there on the perimeter. Let him catch some passes. Let him throw the ball to him downfield. He's probably got the best hands on the team.
I was checking that play out, Popsy, the pass downfield to AK-41. I don't know what happened. There's some communication issues or something. But the ball was overthrown, but for whatever reason, Elvin started backpedaling for the ball. I think Elvin just misjudged the direction of the ball because he turned around and started backpedaling. And I was like, why didn't he just face it correctly and ran? He would have caught it. It would have landed in his hands. It would have been a touchdown. But for whatever reason, Elvin misjudged the ball. He turns and started backpedaling, and it went over his head. I'm like, why did you turn? I think he misjudged it. That's what I think. And
as a matter of fact, I think his right hand, he did hit him in the right hand. But if he'd have put both hands up, he probably could have caught that ball.
It was over. I mean, it could have, Pops. I remember. I'm going over based off the recollection of it happening. I hadn't seen a replay of it, but what I remember was he was backpedaling with the right hand up toward the ball, and I'm like, why are you backpedaling right there? If the ball is overthrown, why didn't you just face and run the correct way, and you'd have ran up under it for the score? Why would you then turn and backpedal and it go over your head? I think it just simply he mistimed it. That's what I was getting out of it. And I'm gonna go back and do the research on and do the film study, but that's what I originally got out of it from that play. So, but yeah, all that has to be corrected, Pops. But will they be corrected in time? You know, Buffalo's up next. The Saints have to go to Buffalo next. The Bills are 3-0. The Saints are 0-3. So this is one of those games, like when you looked at the schedule, like, oh no, the Saints are not going to beat the Buffalo Bills. I say that then, I said now. So what do you see in the matchup? Could they get this stuff ironed out before Buffalo?
I don't think so. Not this Buffalo team, but I remember they have gone up there and they beat Buffalo. As a matter of fact, I think they got a winning record against Buffalo. I want you to research that and find out, but I think they got a winning record winning against Buffalo. But this Buffalo team, I mean, our secondary, if they don't come to play, they're going to get toasted. Just like they did with Seattle. They're going to get toasted. They must prepare these people to play in out there. That's an open field, just like Seattle, but it's got the same type of situation, loud noise. We can't have our offensive linemen commit no silly penalties that'll hurt us through 3 games. We got to clean that up. It's got to be a way to clean it up. We need to call a team meeting. Go in the offensive lineman room, and call the whole offense. Call them in a team. Let's have a team meeting. Let's get this ironed out right now. I say Moore's got to get more tougher. He's going to have to get tougher. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have this issue. I mean, you just can't continue to do that. It's killing your team. It's killing your chances of winning. It's tough to win in the NFL. I don't care what you is. Even Carolina won today. I'm forgetting who it was they played.
They beat Atlanta.
They beat it and shut them out, if I'm not mistaken.
30-0.
Yep. So that young quarterback ain't gonna stand back there in the pocket. They learning how to play. By the time they get to us, if we ain't got our act together, we're gonna get rolled over by the blue and black team. So we just gotta tighten it. We gotta, I don't know what they need to do. I'm just saying that Moore gonna have to get tougher. Call his offensive line coach in there and put some fire under these guys so they realize they're making money, getting paid to play, not paid to make these dumb mistakes that's hurting the team. I still talking about, I remember you mentioned about the white suits. That's the same body in that suit. So, that ain't no excuse either. That's the same, that's a body in that suit. If you put a black one on, it's the same body. So if they're not executing, it doesn't make no difference about what suit they're wearing, what color the suit is. You know, they look all pretty clean out there in Seattle and come back get blown up 44 to them. They're almost like nothing because 13 points don't mean much in this league no more.
Nah.
And I want to address that kicker.
Okay.
This guy, I mean, if he's not consistent enough. You know, it's hard enough to get down to have an opportunity to kick a field goal, and then he kicks them wide right. Come on, dude! You getting paid big money to put that ball through the uprights, or you're kicking it too low where a Seattle player can block the ball. You got to be able to kick that ball up high enough to get it over them guys that's reaching up. The guy came around from the right side. He was slow about getting it up. Next thing you know, that what they call that terrible thump. That when you hear that thump, you know you're in big trouble.
That's right. That hollow sound. That boom.
Yeah, and the ball going all funny. It's not going where it's supposed to go. So I'm just tell you, the suits, you know, they look good, but they're not winning. You know, it doesn't matter what suit they put on. They put the black ones on. If they play like this, they're not going to win. We're allowed to be 0-5 before we get our first game coming up. You know, we may not win for a while if we can't get this ironed out. We should have had this ironed out at least by the second game. But it's still the same. I'm noticing the same crazy things happen. Same crazy penalties. Doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it's definitely more than ironing out to have to do. And Pops, you're right. The overall record of the Saints against the Buffalo Bills, they played 12 times. The Saints are 7-5 against the Bills.
Right.
In the all-time record.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they have a shot in this matchup against the Buffalo Bills, who are rolling right now, man. And the Saints.
Oh yeah.
At first, the Saints, you could talk about the Saints shooting themselves in the foot with dropping touchdown balls and all that kind of stuff. But we get to a point where, you know, guys, that talking is too much talking, is too much talking going on. It's only action is needed. I don't give them a chance in Buffalo. Matter of fact,
I believe you're right too. I mentioned the record because I knew that they were a little ahead of that. They had won more games and they had beat Buffalo more times in the series. But this Buffalo team, I don't give them much chance because I don't see the situation being corrected in the next game because the team is not. These guys are not serious enough about what they need to do.
Yeah. I think this is a loss. Saints had an opportunity to break the losing streak. I believe it'll climb to 4. This is going to be an 0-4 hole for the Saints, and I think the 5th game is against New York, the Giants. You possibly could. I think the next game after that, I think Taysom could come back. But regardless or not, man, the Saints have to figure this out. It's just ridiculous. All in his face. This game here, they didn't show up to play at all, and I think Buffalo's going to beat the brakes off of them. And by the end of the end of Sunday, the Saints could be well on their way to a 0-4 situation, man. They could talk all they want. Enough talking. It's time to put up a shut up now, man.
Mm-hmm.
All this team meeting crap and all that. Ain't no you getting paid. You need to go out there and perform. It's all about working and execution. And if you don't have the right guys for that, you got to move them out and get the right guys in while you
find them. Go find them somewhere.
Go find them. You know, go find them, and so you don't have to be mad like this fella. So, you know, we got to make sure because the Who Dat Nation is like this right now. At his team sitting up here 0-3, looking terrible and stink in the NFL, and we got Buffalo coming. We got to go up to Buffalo next Sunday. But anyway, that's enough on this one. Listen, fam, I appreciate y'all for being in the live on this one, man. A very distasteful performance by the New Orleans Saints tonight. I have to apologize for the effort because obviously the coaches are not going to apologize to the Who Dat Nation for having this team unprepared. And, it's like, fam, I got to apologize, this type of thing. The coaches ain't going to apologize for shit. You know, we apologize for wasting our time watching this crap and the Saints were destroyed and done at the end of the first quarter. You know, it was tough watching the rest of the game because they wasn't serious. When they came out the second half, they had no sense of urgency. They wasn't trying to accomplish nothing. This team don't have any balls. They don't have any get up and go in them. That's the thing. If you getting beat that bad, you're supposed to, even though you know you're gonna lose, you're supposed to come out on fire in the second half. They didn't do anything. They came out slow and unconcerned. That let me know what kind of team this is. And having that type of temperament right now is going to lead you to be undefeated. This team doesn't have a winning spirit. Yep. They don't have a winning spirit, man. And it takes a lot to win in this game. And the Saints don't have a winning spirit, man. It's too much talking. It's time to get to work.
You better believe it is.
All right, so that'll be it. Or the series. Let's start. Like thank y'all guys for tuning in on this Sunday, man. Listen, we'll return on tomorrow with more in the latest. I'm pretty sure they'll have some injury reports to talk about with the Saints. A lot to look at. I'm gonna look at the tape and film for Patreon, of course, but have some insight on our Monday stream, man, the day after, and see what we can come up with some answers. Because obviously the Saints, they need all the damn help they can get. So anyway, with that being said, the Saints humiliated 44-13 in Seattle. They're now 0-3. That's right, family. The Saints are now 0-3 on the season and facing a Buffalo Bill team that is 3-0 in Buffalo. Anything can happen, but man, I just don't see it right now how these people are playing. They just don't have any heart and no courage. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to get out on that. Do us a service before we leave. If you enjoyed the stream, please give us a like. If you enjoyed the stream, then please give us a share. And if you're not a sub up to the coma, man. We do this every Sunday, man. Win, lose, or draw, we be here covering the black and gold because we are the home of the diehards, the great Saint Think Tank. So with that being said, we'll get on out. Much love to you guys. You have a good rest of your evening. Peace and who dat.
Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Do that.
You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat too.